I mean, they must have great respect for the hero, and I mean, I've got great respect for the hero, especially in some of those NADPC games where we see like Saberlight just absolutely 1v9. There's nothing you could do about it. The Ag Shard is just makes the hero so much more stable than it used to be. Because
Brutal.
before, if you missed your roll, it felt so bad. It
Right.
felt so bad if you missed your roll or you got stuck in terrain. But with curl up, you've got that solution to those kind of mix-ups that happen. But yep, I go with the Ember.
It's a safe response. It's not exactly the PL taking care of hero though. Not yet, at least. It might be because you don't do the Battle Fury Ember anymore. That's not a thing.
No, but he
And
does
Remnant
have
Bombs,
a lot of lockdown.
Yeah.
It's really just about the chains being able to stop him from doppling, and the other thing is with the Flame Guard, it makes it real obvious which is the real one. I like this response. Storm lanes perfectly well versus Ember Spirit and is kind of an insurance plan almost, if you will. And Mirana and Ench don't have nothing on Storm.
Yeah, this might be a rethought decision of where to put this Ember Spirit, because Ember does not win against Storm whatsoever. It's not the fact that Storm can Remnant and Ember would just be standing in the Remnant and take the burn damage and immediately remove the shield. It's the fact that Ember Spirit can't do anything to prevent Storm Spirit from farming. And he'll be able to get 6 much earlier.
And with this pit ward pickup as well.
I mean, they've kind of cemented, like, if they're going for a really hard safe laner, despite the fact they've already got the PL. I mean, the PL is going to have problems against the Underlord.
And they decided not to go for the Tide, I think, after seeing the Stormspear pick. Pitward is just the opposite side of the same coin, where he's able to lane versus PL. He's very obnoxious. The pit is always super annoying. These bans are perfect from the cut as well, because they know they need a 5. They take out the 2 most annoying 5s in the game by far. And Pitward, I don't see a way that they're going to be able to really contest him. The best hero I think they can pick up for themselves is most likely Undying, I think, where they just have that really annoying character. The zombie just runs at the Pitward. Pretty easy. Maybe PL gets some farm in that lane, but I think Arkosh have some holes in their draft that the cut have been able to exploit so far. But they don't have last pick, so Arkosh can, they can flip the script here on us, but I'm not sure if that will come to fruition.
I mean, we've seen crazy drafts. This could be theory time. This could be a support Storm. No. Okay, got it. No more theory time. I mean, support Pango is the thing, though. That was the thing for a little while, was pause Pango.
I was going to say that's most likely the case. It could be what could flip the script, I guess, after we see this the safe lane pickup for the cut, which is most likely just going to could be your troll. Troll is probably what I'm thinking of for them. Could be, I mean, they could even run it back with the Wraith King, but again, they might not go for that just because they are a little bit heavy farmer. Yeah, and they go for the troll. And then Arkosh, if they put the Pango forward, they can still squeeze an offlaner in there. Maybe they could pick up. No, Odie's already banned. I'm struggling to think of heroes that they could really change the game with. They could pick up Treant Protector, I suppose. They could pick up Nature's Prophet. That's never a bad hero, but
NP wouldn't be terrible for this game, but they need some more setup. This could be. You think a Mars would maybe make some open space? Because my first thought was Beastmaster, but that was first phased.
When it's not banned and does kind of leave, I guess you could swap the lanes around a little bit, but nothing really feels great for Arkosh, and I think that's their big problem. The Cuts lineup is a little bit too solid.
Yeah, it's just the best way I like to put this is that you could see immediately who the cores are on the side of the cut. Where in comparison, I mean, you could see where the cores are on Arkosh as well, but the main line support you could see for the opening on Arkosh is a Rubik. So it's like you were saying, it's either they got to pick a position 5 or they run position 5 Rubik and 4 Pango, which isn't great either because Rubik needs gold. And they pick up the Venomancer, and I'm still 50-50 on it. It is great catch, more or less. You get the continual slows out on the Tingle, and it's one of the more insurance-based damage against an Underlord in a lane because it'll just slowly tick away with the poison damage. And I mean, it's a kite for for SMD, but it's still just a big 50-50 up for Arkosh's draft at the moment, I feel.
Well, and you there, Pete?
Did I heard you die? Am I dead?
Are we both dying? I think we're good now. I think we got over the hump. But yeah, I agree with a lot of that. Where it's just this Gremlin pick. I mean, they picked an offlaner that doesn't lose the troll. That's winning half the battle. But unfortunately, versus Pit Lord, it's just one of those heroes where if you ever use your ultimate, you ever try to keep them there, they always have the option to rift out, and that's the prevailing issue I think that Arkosh are going to have versus the cut in this game. That and it's just this Enchantress pick. If Pingu gets too much done in the early game, Arkosh need to win they need to get so much out of their lanes, I think, to set themselves up to not be rolled. Because otherwise, I think the cut are going to have a very dominating perspective in this game.
I mean, the other point is that, like, they have a lot of heroes that people are first phase banning in just normal overall drafts. Like, it's been a long time since we've actually seen a Mirana be able to pop off because people have actually been first phase banning it. And I don't know, like, whether or not the Mirana draft is based around, like, if people actually go for the, if people actually go for Ags on Mirana. Like, I'm excited to see where the draft will go for the cut. But, I mean, going back to your original point, it just feels like Arkosh don't have that beefy boy that's going to be able to work the game for them, much like the Underlord game.
Well, and I think what most people do on Mirana, you see he's already got the urn queued up, but most people after the urn just queue up the Yules, and then similar to the Leshrac versus Weaver game we had earlier, that's just your catch. And how fast or how successful you are in the lane really affects the Storm's game, because if he has to worry about always getting Yules arrowed, and if you get Yules, you're going to get arrowed unless somebody throws their body in front of you. Then you need to be really scared if you're that Storm Spirit, because then you're talking about BKB timings, and at that point, you know, how is your PL going to fit into your lineup? Because they just need so much farm and time on Arkosh.
I really love all this opening chat. It felt like we didn't really get that much in the last game, but Slacks only speak money.
Slacks only speak money.
Oh, Arkosh.
The battle begins.
I mean, both teams are going to secure 2 for 2 runes, but I wonder how much BSJ or Pale Horse is truly going to be able to get out of this top lane.
Stop baiting Twitch chat with that. They're gonna go crazy with that one. I'm sure chat already know though.
Yeah, we did not see any minimap drawing unfortunately this time around, but it's mode serious. You know, they have to. I think this is actually pretty important. If they win, it will lead them to being 3-3. I think. Oh, Vol messed up his arrow on the range creep a little bit.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's concerned about that when he gets a courier instead. I think it still got to Lil Nick though. Yeah, he's got the salve. So I think the biggest sort of contest is going to be like watching this mid lane though. It was kind of like we were saying, like Ember Spirit doesn't really do too well against Storm. You saw that he threw out one shield and it was not immediately broken.
It's just instantly gone. It's 2 spells.
Oh yeah, one Remnant's 120. So yeah, it goes down if it gets clipped by a Remnant.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to be a problem. I mean, it's really going to be up to, like most of these matchups, especially Spirit versus Spirit, it all comes down to the runes and whether or not your supports are able to secure it. But once the Storm hits level 3, he will be able to have that kill potential. He'll probably skill Vortex. And then Nick needs to be quite careful if his shield does get popped. Yeah, but for now, I mean, he's having a great time.
Yeah, I mean, looks like they're going to trade Salve to... Well, I was going to say Salve to Salve, but actually Kenneth Volpus does not have one. He's saving up for the direct bottle rush.
Yeah, and he's going to get away with it, too. There's not much that Nick can do. They're going to get their bottle at about the same time. They're one CS is the difference. But still, you need to be careful if he is able to get some of those cheeky denies, because the level advantage is really tight-knit in this mid matchup. That's why you see Nick forcing the wave in, just so that way he can try and stay even with him.
Well, let's go ahead and take a quick gander at some of our other lanes. It's going to be the Underlord versus Pale Horse, and you could already see that it's not really going too well. I mean, I say that, though. It's 11-2 and to 11-0, so it's even CS.
Yep, it's just what Tingle King's going to do. He's just going to be able to push in the wave. There's not much that that Goat can really do on this Rubik. If anything, he needs to be always cautious of where Vol is, because Vol, one arrow, he is just a Rubik. He's not the tankiest of fellas. But everybody's going to farm in this top lane up until Tingle King maybe gets level 3 in Firestorm, and then it gets a little bit more difficult for Pale Horse to farm up there.
I mean, you can already see how difficult it might be with 2, but yeah, down in bot. It's one of our other lanes here. I wanted to know how good Gremlo was going, because I saw that it's actually going to be the off lane Venomancer instead, and they were going to support with Pango. Or are they actually? I'm not 100%
And it looks
certain.
like it. Yeah, the CS is quite. Yeah.
It's a
they're having a rough
Nobody
time.
knows.
But they are doing a good job. They're keeping Pingu's creep camps blocked. He can't really do any plays right now. He's got that small camp spawning up at 4 minutes, but we'll see. I'm guessing, yeah, Vol already rotating mid, trying to get the runes, because it's simply the most important place to be on the map.
Even then, he can apply some decent pressure just by tossing an arrow out there to ensure
And
that
Tingle
the
King
rune
is
will be
just
taken.
so self-sufficient. If it becomes a 1v1 top, Pale Horse is going to suffer, especially once he's able to get more levels up in that Firestorm. But this is a pretty big fight. Oh, he got it.
Yeah, he will end up grabbing this DD
Nick
rune,
might be in
and that
trouble,
could cause
though.
a lot of issues. Goat will be traded off as first blood, but Nick will go down. But
You're
that is-
happy with that if you're Nick, though.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, that's 300 gold in comparison to 185, and the XP was split between 2 heroes.
Exactly. And Storm, I mean, yeah, he just got his XP split. He lost it on the rune. Looks like Rubik will be able to fill his bottle, but Nick's got the gold. The only issue, though, is because of all that sapping that the Mirana, she did rotate a little bit sooner, Storm Spirit will be popping his level 6 a lot faster than Nick will. That's something you always need to be scared about in this mid matchup, and something we've seen a lot of teams punish is just the tick when heroes are level 5 and you have that slight advantage. You just run at them. You just try to kill them with your ultimates as fast as you can.
Nope.
And they got him bottom.
You did your best.
I mean, that's the power of this Enchantress. Wasn't really paying attention to it. He had the enchant.
He got the
slope.
good creep too. He got the satyr.
Everybody likes the Kamehameha.
The
I mean, we
Hadouken
know what
is
it
so
actually
much
is called,
damage.
but that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? Oh, I was gonna look at it, but it died. Is it still 150, or is it more now?
I believe it's still 100. It's just a crazy amount of damage for what it is. It's that and the Harpy creep, or even the Centaur. These are just all fantastic creeps to have, and we haven't even seen him rotate mid yet. We might see it whenever the carts are up, probably at the 10-minute mark. But Storm's trying to gank.
Yep, looks like they are going to look for Vol. Vol is got to leap
Too
out
much
of this
mana.
one. I mean, yeah, Hannes Volpus is a bit low, but Goat is on the back lines, can hold him over.
Nick
but
is here.
Little Nick is rolling on in, and he does have one in the Remnant and Shackles. The arrow goes through, will find. Meanwhile, Gremlo dies in the bot lane. He needs to end up zipping out of this one, but it's a lot of mana to expend. Wasn't expecting.
He needs to be
short
careful on
zip,
Nick.
and- Well, luckily he has the Remnant ready, but they find the kill on Hannes Volpus with the help of the Firestorm. And Little Nick is actually going to get the bot rune in the same time.
That was very fortunate for Nick. I was worried for his life a little bit, but he did have that remnant out, and defending their stacks, I don't think they saw that there was a ward placed there, but so that's a death that hurts on the Storm Spirit. You just hit your 6 and then you immediately leave your lane to go gank. It's space given to the Ember Spirit that didn't need to be there. And this bottom lane is really taking a turn for the worse for Arkosh.
Well,
He's trying to
looks
save
like
it.
They want to do save it indeed.
He just hit 6
To
though.
SMD, and yeah, he's 6. He's ready to just run at them. The only problem is that he can't control his running. So, I mean, SMD
Yeah.
is dead one way or another here. At least trying to get a trade on the way out, but nothing he could do there.
Yeah, just had slightly too much mana on the Storm Spirit. He was able to fully zip in and fully zip out. But PL...
Pale Horse
Oh.
be in trouble here. He starts the TP. The arrow was actually ready, and he can't juggle the illusion enough. Pale Horse does actually get hit with that, and
Firestorm
it's
in
going to
one.
be going down.
This reward transcends expectation.
Well,
and that's the
Slacks,
issue.
I don't know if you're in chat, man, but you might want to be teaching these guys how to do early game, as well as a little bit of spelling. Maybe have them spell early game, or have them do laning phase.
No, remember, Slack speaks with money.
Oh, that's right. So get a like a $20 bill, all right, and then put a piece of paper on the front of it saying win the laning phase, because right now Arkosh is having a real hard time keeping up this laning phase. PL's not terribly behind. Like, he's only 300 gold behind just overall with the net worth department, but I mean, just dying is one death usually sets it in a very precarious spot, and you die second time as your core. That's the scary time.
Well, and now, I mean, because he's level 6, he can farm the jungle. He is, you know, that self-sufficient PL, but this means that you see that he's already rotated to the top lane because Gremlin needs to defend that tower as long as he can. And as long as he can keep his T1s alive, that's kind of the strength of the Veno. He's always able to play in these side lanes and extend the life of these towers, but Troll is just going to push in the wave, and Scourge is going to 100% outpace this PL just because that's the nature of the hero. Once he's able to get his Maelstrom, it's really just Maelstrom plus 1 or 2 items, and then the PL really can't contest with that. The only way for him to purge the blind is to Doppelganger, and you never want to really do that offensively versus the Troll because he'll just ult you. And more little picks.
I mean, the cut need to get picks like this as well, because it is a very sort of raffle stomp lineup for both teams. It's a net worth fight overall. But I feel like at the end of the day, like, if you could just make it to where the PL can't doppel, and he is a 2-in doppel as well, but I mean, you know, 10-second cooldown.
Oh, and they want to dive Grem.
Yeah, they scan Grem low. They drop the TP, and they do end up seeing the fact that Canis Vulpus is TPing in, but they're not concerned
They need
about
more.
this one. They want to go for Gremlow, and Gremlow with no level 6 spec'd up. They will end up losing Tingle King to this, and Canis Vulpus, actually, they might be able to get this turn on Little Nick. The Remnant is up here. Like, this Remnant will get you nowhere.
He's got roll as well.
Oh, he's pumping the
Oh, he didn't realize.
I was gonna, like, did that really just happen? I was expecting them to keep going, but yeah, no, they did get him at the end of the day.
I'm surprised. I don't think the Storm had enough mana to make it back and pull him, but I guess kind of sealing his fate, he didn't think he had Vortex.
Well, I mean, they had the Remnant, I believe, that was still up in the top here. Yeah, it's still here. So he could have Remnanted up and then started the TP. See, I was looking at Volt for a little while there because he was in a little bit of trouble in the mid. I wasn't expecting Crow to get the rollout on him.
When Pingu was taking over the mid lane during that time, I'm surprised that he wasn't up there because it felt like it just took so long to get on top of Gremlow.
And
now Nick it's happening again.
Well, they will force the Remnant. He will get quite a bit of damage out there from Crow.
Your place is here.
But with the TP, I was going to say with the TP from Pingu, that's the necessary support they need, but Pingu doesn't have enough levels either.
However, I do like the rotations cuts made. With the 10-minute rune, Tingle King is now going to pressure a tower that he can actually get, as opposed to trying to dive any more heroes. And Goat actually stepped a little too far forward.
Yeah, he's going to burn away. Actually, Vol to be the one to claim the kill on him. But it looks like Pale Horse is nearby, and Vol already very low HP. Well, the raindrop will save him for now. The Doppelganger will be expended. And with no ward on the high ground there, those illusions will not be clicking into him.
And there's not much they can do about Tingle King unless the Storm rotates, and I think he needs a rune pretty much at this point to kill the Pit Ward 100-0. But Kreml needs to be so careful at all times. If Nick... Oh, he just barely missed the slate.
See that, though, the cut is lining up for wanting to confirm this tower ideally in the mid, and that might cost him his life, actually, because he's going to get brought down by the rotations from Arkosh.
A little bit of a brazen position being on the enemy high ground, and they do get the deny, but he was able to claim a tower, and really his rotations are going to be a lot stronger once he gets that Atos that he is rushing.
Well, looking at the net worth still, the Troll's been kind of like not in this. I don't want to say he's not in the game, but we all know SMD very well. We've casted him a couple of times already. He likes to farm, and He's getting a lot of that farm in this game. Oh, Vol. I saw the
As soon
rune
as he
get
said
the
that, he
there.
blocked a large camp, so my my
Yeah.
attention was diverted.
I did see that, and I was just like, I wanted to go to Vol to kind of disengage that in hopes that there was going to be something there.
No one can escape the CS lows, but actually Storm popped his smoke on the troll mid. So they might maybe catch wind of what's happening bottom. Tingle King does not want to die anymore, though. I think he really wants to finish his item at this point, but they have
He might
roll
not
in
have
1
this
second.
option. The roll is there. You see Crow zip in. The TP was canceled. I don't know by who
Yep.
or by... Well, I mean... I think it was they felt that Tingle King was indefinitely going to die there.
PL got his defusal just now as well, and I mean now he is kind of a scary hero. He's a hero that definitely needs to dodge fights that the Ember shows up in until he gets his Manta style, but we saw with Tomato when he was playing PL, he was showing up to fights where he needed to. That being fights where he needs to pressure the Mirana, he needs to force the supports back, but at the same time, Troll, I mean, SMD is matching him in farm plus some. He's going for the same build as we saw that one Troll earlier today, just literally Maelstrom BKB, but hopefully they don't go Roche after that and then lose the game.
I mean, will BKB even really be enough? Like, I've always talked about this when it comes to, like, BK... Ooh,
Oh no.
Pale Horse. He doppels. I don't know if he's
Already
on them,
used
but
it.
He's
I don't
on
think
top
he
of
did
them.
either.
The doppel's there. The arrow goes through the Starstorm to follow.
Very
Look at him
unlucky.
misplay.
Yeah. He wanted to get out as fast as he could. I think he kind of knew what was going on, but it's very unfortunate. But yet again, I don't think Scourge really minds, though, because once he gets BKB, the big issue is the Pango, right? You don't want to be disarmed during your ultimate. It's Pango and Storm. And if you can stick on those heroes, they really run out of gas fast. But, oh, he got an Arcane Rune.
Wait, hang on. Is this right? I'm looking at chat. I got chat open. PL went Octarine Core in one of those games?
Yes, he did.
Why would a PL go Octarine Core? Is it just for
More,
the doppel
more doppelganger.
CD?
More doppelgangers.
Bring back the old doppel?
It's
Oh,
not that
man.
bad as well, because although you very seldomly talk about it, but cast range on Doppelganger is interesting, to say the least, now that it builds from Aether
Oh,
Lens.
right. Oh,
It
gosh, I
gets a
didn't
little
even
bit
think about
wacky.
that.
It does get a little bit wacky. But a big fight looks like it's brewing top, or at least a pick on a Pingu maybe? There's so
Well,
many heroes up here.
Thing is that it was a light smoke, and then the and Goat got revealed there and pinged immediately.
Oh no, Pale Horse in the same spot.
This is the same scenario again. He didn't use Doppel, however, so he might be able to buy some time, but with the lightning proc, they find it. There's the BM tip from Lil Nick.
And Pingu's just too tanky. They're gonna have to dive really hard to get this. This isn't good.
You can hear the Underlord TP blasting my ears, but it looks like they cancel it as they roll out of out from trying to get Pingo here. Pingo.
The good cancel as well, because I
Well,
think,
hang
yeah,
on.
you'll see the Arcane Room.
Yeah. Storm Spirit zip it in. So Cronus Wolfmus will at least get this confirmed.
I mean, at the same time, though, SMD has been able to maneuver around this aggression coming out from Arkosh. He's only died one time. He's only a recipe away from his BKB. And then he could be the frontliner, the almost secondary frontliner, as well as Tingle King finishing up his Atos. And there's a very strong timing, I think, coming up for the cut. And what they do with that timing, I'm not entirely sure.
Maybe
Oh,
try to
Pale
put some
Horse.
pressure on the PL here. They want to bait the Doppel, but I mean, why bait it if you can just kill the hero basically?
3 TPs.
Yeah, I think the 3 TPs is good enough for them to get that disengage. They're perfectly fine with this transaction.
And they don't even care about it. I mean, Nick's eyeing up this rune now, and I mean, that's the annoying thing about Rod of Atos, is just he literally cannot get the doppel off if the arrow's coming through. He can't do anything about it. He needs to have illusions beforehand, but oh, it's a freebie.
Yeah, arrow to the face, DD rune on Nick. They'll find it. Meanwhile, on top though, they will be able to find this Enchantress kill for the trade.
And Pingu is the one hero. Now that they have the Orchid, they will be able to open their horizons a little bit to heroes that they can kill, but it's just so free for Crow. The Rolling Thunder, there's not much that the Enchantress can do versus that. And he has a Blink Dagger as well. He's actually had a very clean game so far. Oh, they found him.
Yeah, they were hunting for him. They'll throw out the good old Gale, or Nova. No Gale, actually, but not really going to do much. Drop a
They
scan.
scanned him walking back at the tower, and as soon as they didn't find him and they saw the ward cast, they knew he had to be in one section of the trees. And I mean, these little picks, the problem is just, it's SMD. SMD is the problem. I just feel like this Troll versus Peel matchup, it's just not good enough, because working towards his Manta style, that is just a play versus the Ember. Once he gets that, then he doesn't need to worry about the Pit Ward route. He doesn't need to worry about at least one set of chains, and I think it might be a little bit too countered in this game.
Oh, I think my internet like died for a split second there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. I don't know what's going on.
Welcome
It was
back
clear
to the land of the
yesterday.
living.
Well, anyway, I saw it drop to 0 for like 1 second, and I didn't say anything. So that way, chat's like, "Oh, nothing happened." Lol.
Well, stormy clouds.
Let's
Stormy
put
clouds.
it this way, guys. It's NA internet. We all know how that goes. I ain't no EU guy. I'm not MLP, where he's probably got way better internet than I do.
Less
Right?
people to contest with, you know what I mean? But now, BKB on Scourge, I mean, they can just pressure these towers. They can just start walking it down a little bit, and it's really just Gremlo. And if they see Gremlo set up in a lane a little bit too hard, they can either decide to kill him or look for PL again.
You know, every time I see a lag spike, I'm not very happy about this.
And they saw the Flame Guard, so he was able to just walk away. And this aggression from the cut is buying them a lot of time, because they can't just freely farm. You see, anytime you see both your 1 and your 2 in the same area, it feels pretty bad, because he wants to just continue to farm. But I feel like if he doesn't get active in some of these fights, they're never going to find a fight. That's just going to be pick off after pick off. Okay. Oh,
I mean, this
get
is a
the
good
BKB
pickup
off
for
though.
them. The BKB is available on Troll though if they want to turn this around. Meanwhile, in the back
Yeah, they're
lines,
running.
Yeah, they don't want to be around
no.
this anymore. Pale Horse is trying to get out of here. The roll goes out from the Pango, revealing the blink.
He's making space, but into Nick. Oh,
Yeah,
he
they
got
roll
the...
into Nick. He does get the chains, and Crow out of roll time. He's not going to get out of this one. The arrow goes through, though. Crow is going to dodge it for the time being. But that's only for the time being. They'll still find these 2 kills. Very few ults being expended, and now you just see Tingle King is going to start the rift down to bot.
And it was almost a perfect bait, to be honest. They really were running at them haphazardly, just baiting with the BKB, and as soon as they clicked on him, they knew what was happening, but they just weren't ready, I think, for the scope of that fight, with Nick being as close as he was. But now, you die close to the Roche pit, Troll's going to go in and take Roche. Pingu's tanking for him, and there's not much that they can do. The Venomancer is continuously playing on the opposite side of the map just to try and keep creep pressure, but yet again, they've got, even with Pit Ward, they've got the kind of mobility with the Dark Rift to feel safe taking this Roshan, even in this scenario. And it feels like the map is just going to start becoming way more Radiant favored. They're just going to keep on eating, and their vision is great right now as well.
Yeah, they've got wards literally everywhere. The whole entire jungle is just... all the information can be given. They've got these 2 Ember illusions holding this spot as well, which also give off the taunt, despite being like a mile away from the actual Ember. And yeah, the vision game is insane. They've even got one right here. They've got all of this vision available. They see that this roll is happening already.
Trying to get
Arrow
Nick.
goes through. They want to try to get the jump on Nick. He's burning a lot of HP here. Does he have a remnant out? I don't think he does. He's just using up, and Tingle King goes down in the back lines, and Little Nick to fall as well.
Yeah, they were just a little bit too far. I think they were trying to move the push up towards the top lane. At least that's what Troll was doing. But they just got caught. They got completely caught out, and it was all Crow. Crow kept the lockdown there to keep Tingle King's hands a little bit too tied. You need to be careful, though.
Arrow. Yeah, well, they do find this Rubik. That's kind of a given. Or is it, actually?
A little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, they can't get him. They've got ranged whirling, but they're not... He's not agsed up yet, so he's not going to get that extra little buff from that.
And this is something that GOAT needs to be really aware of, or even Tingle King needs to be careful of. You cannot give this Rubik Pit. Pit is so perfect versus your team, especially in this game. Any hero that gets pitted on the Radiant side is just going to be in a world of hurt, especially Nick, because you saw him Yules up defensively thinking he was okay, but he just came right back down. into the pit, and there's just nothing he can do. That's why he's got this BKB queued up.
Radiant bottom tower is under attack.
An Orchid?
Nope, I heard the Orchid. Yep, it goes straight on to Vol in the mid, but Little Nick, he's here with the root and the follow-up root on the Tingle with the secondary root coming out from the ult, and they got him.
There's so many roots.
BM tips as well. Big fan, big fan. Meanwhile, they are lining up for a possibility up on the top here. Crow does throw out the roll, and SMD has to ult if he wants to live.
Oh,
but he's got Aegis. He actually does get the kill and the follow-up from this. They might get two. Pingu doesn't have a slow available. He's just trying to pump into him, though. Will they get him is the question. Grant, yeah. Lil Nick is here. They will end up getting that one. Move on from there.
I mean, that all kind of leads back to that Storm Spirit showing up mid and killing Vol, where although it was great that they were successful in killing the Storm Spirit top lane, there's no fear of a rotation. If Rubik or PL showed up to that fight, they just would have been next thing on the table, the next meal on the table. And I mean, they just are going to be able to keep running down these lanes. And I mean, BKB's coming up for Storm Spirit, but once he gets that, I don't know if he has enough mana to really... Oh, he's trying to kill Pingu.
Oh, yep, they do find the jump on him and they get him. I mean, he's a very good kill to get. You just go ahead and drop everything on top of him, and Orchid Malevolence will just burn him up anyway, so...
A kill I don't think Pingu was prepared for as well. That was like a 1,000 mana jump. But the good news is all of these deaths, all of these kind of happenstance kills have been making space for the PL, but it just takes so long for you to feel like a real hero in these PL games. I mean, even the Tomato game we saw with like Heart Manta Diffusal, he still only did about 174 damage or right click. And there isn't a hero that he really wants to be controlling up and burning the mana of. There's no Tide in this game. There's no Timbersaw for him to kind of DPS race against. It's really just him versus the Troll, and you don't win that matchup. Especially now that he has Ags, he's going to continuously blind you during these fights.
PL, they TP out the PL. He doesn't want to be anywhere near that smoke rotation. I don't think the cut's going to be able to get anything with the less of the smoke time, and we're waiting. I mean, the Aegis is still live. Oh, no, it's not.
They removed it. Yeah, top lane.
Yeah, it's gone. Right, I watched that. I physically watched it. Speaking of watching something, we are going to see a bait go out there, actually. The BKB is going to be thrown up by Canis Volpus to not get hit by the arrow. The Pit of Malice was stolen by Goat. Crow, though, stuck on the low ground. He starts the roll up to figure out where he's going to go, and just curl up to stand there at the time.
And now this is scary. Yeah, you need to be careful. You need to run out if you're the cut.
Root time. They'll bring him back in, and it looks like it's a very bad spot for Nick, but they actually turn it around as Canis Volpus will die instead. Pale Horse needs to get out. He's trying to disengage from the right, but there's so many Venom Wards up, slowing everybody down here. SMD, if you want to get something, you will at least get the Purge.
And Vol? Looks like he's dead.
Yeah, they find Vol on the sidelines here, and SMZ is just dedicating all of this resources to try and kill the Rubik. But they get the Storm. It's still a good pickup and trade-off for them.
They were able to get the Storm, and it was really... it's funny to see two Pit of Malices down and both Spirits stuck in it, but that's why Nick has the Yules. He has the tools to play around it, whereas the Storm does not. He doesn't have those items, so once BKB's committed, he really needs to be cautious. Oh, Crow.
Cautious. I mean, Crow just gets nuked down by the damage from Little Nick, but mostly from Pingu there. Can't underestimate max level Impetus.
Impetus is just such a strong spell, and it looks like they are going to do a hard reset. Actually, Nick...
Well, so much for the reset portion, actually. He's going to be in a bit of trouble here. They have to get the Rift out. And they cancel the Rift. They get him off. They do a quick little play on him there, but I don't think that was the play indeed. Like, SMD has to BKB if he wants to escape from this one. I don't think they were expecting the Underlord to cancel that one. But at the same time, the cancel was not a great play.
No, maybe like a double click or something. There was something very, very strange that just happened. Because that was the reset. They were all out. Maybe they were afraid of leaving one person behind, because then that person really is doomed. But definitely closer than I think it otherwise would be. I also think if SMD knew, he would have BKB'd beforehand, and it would have maybe been able to stick on to Goat or even the Storm Spirit there if he got enough roots, but he was just too slowed up.
Gotta love them
But
roots.
Nothing gained, nothing lost.
So I took a quick look at what we're going to go for all of our next items. I like to go from top to bottom, not being top of the net worth, just like left to right. Little Nick's building a Radiance next. Like, he's going for the full magic build. The old class, El Clasico.
It's really obnoxious if you're PL. And I mean, you see him, he's queuing up this part, and it's just what you have to do because there aren't, all of the best items of the patch aren't really something you can rush on PL. You can't go Basher after Mantis Style Diffy. You can't get an Agi Blink, you know, necessarily so fast. And you're not a flash farmer. You're just a PL. You don't have a Battle Fury. You don't have that Maelstrom that we see so many Weavers, Trolls, or Ursas are able to use to their advantage. So he's kind of just stuck doing PL things.
I mean, he's been getting caught out on top of that with his current build quite effectively. And wait. Hang on. What goes into this? Oh, no, he's doing it. He's got the Ag Shard. I just realized he had it. He's going to do the build. I'm excited to see it. I want to see it so bad.
The Octarine.
They're doing the Octarine. By the way, back up in the top lane. Do see that Goat is going to be going out onto nobody. As Little Nick is the one to claim that. Still Whirling Axe. There's not really a lot of great S-tier spells to steal. I mean, I guess you get the Mirana Invis Remnant Bursts.
Yeah, the only really good Rubik's, it's really just Pit.
Oh, yeah, Pit.
It's Pit and Arrow are probably the... Oh, no, Storm.
In mid.
He's got 500 mana.
Yeah, Storm is continually getting pitted up here, but as you can see, Tingle King is trying to escape here. He's got a lot of burn on him, but will at least take off some. BKB being popped though for Canis Vulpes. Yeah. He wants to get out of that one.
I mean, now that's a 7-second BKB. They've been using their BKBs so much in this game, but still going to the advantage of the cut. I mean, you have to be a little bit scared if you're Arkosh coming into this next Roche. If it respawns in 15 seconds, then you're not going to have BKB on Storm, and at least he found the headband. Oh, he's actually sent it back.
Oh, Yules onto Crow. Starts the roll up. And now the real roll. He's just out of there. There he goes. And he misses the jump. Well, it looks like it's Roche time.
It actually respawned. There's 25 seconds where the Storm can't show up to a fight, even if he wanted to, and I think it's just free again.
I mean, in the meantime, they're going to put some light pressure into the bot lane here. But, I mean, with the Underlord existing just in the mere vicinity, it's very hard to get a good push onto the tower. And I mean, this Aegis goes down for free. And they are rotating out. They smoke up immediately.
Yeah, they want to find picks. They want to punish this Venomancer, this Rubik. If they get both of them, oh, they're looking for...
So Yules, the arrow, Canis Vulpes has to BKB ASAP. Couldn't end up grabbing that Arcane Rune. It goes on to Goat, and Goat is going to fall. Meanwhile, on the backlines here, immediately Gremlo is TPing out of here. On top of a ward, no less.
Oh, full.
Oh, Canis Vulpes.
2 seconds.
Yules.
Wait, he saw
arrow.
Him,
BKB is not there. We already saw it. The root goes out and the silence follows through. And that's it. And you're right. He did see it. There's this sentry that's literally right here. They even dewarded it.
I don't know if he was trying to be coy or what was going on there, because he had no backup coming. That was just it. If he let himself get Yules, that was just going to be his death. And I mean, his death, it shall be. And this is going to turn into a high ground push, surely.
Well, the creeps still need to catch up a little bit here. You got 40 seconds till Storm. 18 on his BKB, so he could buy back, but like, why would you buy back at 30-something seconds? Because you're not going to fight without BKB, but 6 seconds is your timer on that bad boy. The fort is still available. PL is trading time with these illusions down in the bot for the time being.
It just feels, though, as if the pressure they're outputting just isn't enough. Rubik stealing Firestorm is going to be annoying. They're a very difficult team to push high ground into, but you're going to start claiming all of these outer towers, and we might be going to a third Roche, just because this Aegis might just be to take full control of the map, but so this is starting to become a more and more cut-favored game, I believe.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the draft kind of felt more into the cuts position.
Definitely.
Like, the Troll just feels and has, like, a much stronger safe lane potential in
They do have the
comparison
smoke
to the
up.
PL. I mean, PL can overwhelm the Troll, but, I mean, you only need 25 mana to use Whirling Axes.
Well, maybe they get Nick.
Yeah, Nick is just straight dead here. There was literally nothing he could have done there. And now they might be able to find two with
Angle
this
as
one,
well.
the Underlord. I mean, the arrow goes through, Canis Vulpus pops it, so he doesn't end up getting hit with that BKB. Underlord disconnecting from the game.
Interesting.
That might have been why there wasn't really a big reaction there. He did use Lotus Orb.
Well, and that's something they always need to be
Rage
scared about.
quit.
They weren't really set up for that. I mean, they were Moonlight Shadowed. I think that was after Nick had already been jumped, but didn't even have the cheese slotted in, so he just dies. There's nothing he could do if they start the fight off with just telekinesis. That's something he always needs to be scared of. But I mean, now they get to kind of walk all over the map for 70 seconds because they're not going to want to buy back on any of their heroes, and I don't think they can really respond to any of the tower push. I think now PL just gets to hit buildings.
Yeah,
And if Arkosh can do that 2 or 3 more times, then I think the game starts to flip.
they could do that 2 or 3 more times and ideally pick off the Troll when he doesn't have an Aegis sitting on him. And then, yeah, I imagine that's going to be their walk down mid lane 19. Oh, I love this meme already. For those of you who don't know, when Black and Yellow said they had to dip out due to some circumstances, the Arkosh Twitter had responded that they sent their $19 gift card in the mail to them.
Oh boy.
So that's where that comes from right now. Might have came from somewhere else before that, but wow, he actually did take the 100 base damage as well. I don't even pay attention to, like, I don't even pay attention to a lot of the stuff that they're throwing out here. But yeah, if they just keep getting these ideal team fight scenarios, at least like maybe 2 or 3 more times, the game can swing back into their favor. Like, it's not out of the realm of no longer winnable. And I actually think this Octarine core is going to be a good defining point in time because you could already see that the Storm Spirit does have Electric Rave. And I believe that's
maybe
what
that's
we saw the
the,
damage coming in there.
Yes. And he actually still has 1 attack, I believe, or someone has 1 attack. I think it's the Veno. And the bounces are something that every team should fear. If he is able to get level 25, those bounces hurt. They hurt so much. We're getting like mini-map flashbang now. Whoa.
It said Vol was still AFK.
But going late game versus a Storm Spirit is always something something quite scary.
Ah, they're drawing. Okay. What are we watching here? Ah, damn it. Why did I say it? No. Stop.
So Rubik's is bigger than Pink's. That's all I know.
Why?
What is, I don't even know.
Oh. Okay, they're good to go. We don't have to keep drawing on the map anymore. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get back into it after that brief little pause. Oh, they are going, though. They want to try to go for Pingu here. We will have the bounce, and the eventual kill will happen here. As you see the slow and insidious click damage.
I see. So his team was pausing on Pingu. That's what that meant.
Oh. Oh, they were pausing to make sure they could confirm SMD just starts the BKB TP.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's actually kind of strange. I guess it is good to get the kill onto the Enchantress, especially since it's just free, but with them kind of moving towards SMD, they aren't able to get this mid T2 tower, which I thought they would at least be able to force out Glyph. There's still 30 seconds, but farm is farm. I mean, Basher now on Pangolier as well. A lot of these heroes are really starting to come online on Arkosh, and it's got to be scary if you're the cut.
Invisibility.
Yeah, they are lining up a lot of good items here. You don't want to be throwing away team fights. Like, getting any sort of picks at this point is going to start putting the game in a very precarious situation. And, like, just looking at the net worth and XP graph alone, you could see that it is starting to dip back into Arkosh's favor. Just a slight bit, but it is there. Please tell me. Yep, it's up. All right, Octarine is up and ready to go. You've got Doppel to 7.5 second CD. And you get the Spirit Lancer bounce. All right, I'm ready to see it in action. I'm pretty sure we already saw it in action a little bit there. SMD is going to be disarmed. We'll meet the tower here, though. Getting kited left and right because the pit was the thing that was stolen here, and he's already at half HP from all of this.
He's just taking so much damage.
Oh, there's the Yules, though. Out on the Rubik. The follow-up arrow, actually, the Force Staff saves him just in time in a 4-man route. And they will end up getting the jump out onto Goat eventually. Trying to throw out the Remnant, but the roll-up is going to be there. SMD, he has to BKB if he wants to turn and fight. Wants to go on to Gremlo here, looking for the root, and will find the first one, finds the second one. They will get the finish up. The silence actually going out onto the Underlord. Couldn't break the TP, and then SMD pops his ult and wishes to turn on the Canis Vulpus. Meanwhile, they do find Pingo on the backlines with the help of the Pale Horse.
I mean, he's keeping it going. He's keeping the things bouncing, the lances, but...
It's a 3-1 trade. They're not even done. I mean, the Aegis is still kicking. Vol actually goes down to PL Illusions alone, and now the Aegis hath expired. Little Nick needs to escape. He pops his BKB. SMD, he comes back in with full HP, so they know that this Aegis is down. Aegis goes out. They miss the first, and they will find the follow-up route, but being disarmed with no Dispel available, they will still get Pale Horse. The man has no buyback either, so they could just walk down mid, and that's exactly what SMD wants to do.
And I mean, now there's really just nothing they can do. Like, the game sort of reset a little bit there, but now they're just going to start going down mid.
Oh, Goat.
Even trying to get Goat.
I mean, he's going to lift them away, but Rod of Atos to follow. I mean, he's getting kited left and right here.
He's being, it's a little annoying, the Psychic Headband.
There it is. They would get the kill. They bought some more time, though. You got 10 seconds until your Storm is up and ready to go. But, all right, well.
Immediately.
I mean, why not, right?
Oh, he doesn't...
They do jump in, though, and they don't have a way of escape. His BKB is not up. He's popped it now, though. He's going in. The Rod of Atos. The bash is there. He's got it. The Storm is dead. He can't buy back. The Rubik's bought back himself, though. Are they going to get it is the question. SMD, he's trying to get the jump. He's got no HP to work with. Lift after lift after lift after stun after bounce. They will finally kill off the Troll.
An important buyback. It's really unfortunate that the Troll, or rather the Storm, just went in immediately after respawning and dying, but that's how it be sometimes. The only issue is that as soon as that happens, the cut was all pressure on buildings. They don't really have the hero anymore. They don't have any building damage aside from Troll, so if Arkosh can continually burst him, or at least force him to die whenever they try to go high ground, this is kind of the prevailing issue with the Cuts lineup. It's really just Troll. If Arkosh can stay on their high ground and stay strong, then the game's gonna continue to prolong, and that gives even more time for Pale Horse to get even more items, because he's got a lot of space to grow still.
I mean, what do you? Let's go for the bash. I mean, what do you go after the Abyssal Blade then, though? Like, do you just go for...
Let's look at the Scotty.
Well, what about... No, you don't run Satanic. Scotty is a perfect one, though. You're right. Because it works up against the Troll ult as well.
Or even that, or you go towards that those Agi blinks, and you just be even more obnoxious. Because that is something he did, especially in that last fight. Even though he did run out of gas at the end, he did get booted up by the Troll. The backline can't really handle the illusion creation. If he can just keep getting off lances, it gets very, very difficult for them to ever fight into the PL directly. And I mean, if there's one thing Arkosh can do, it's defend their tier 3 towers. The mid one is a little bit low, but if they can keep it alive with Plague Wards, with the spam, then it's going to get difficult for them to actually finish this game out, unless Cut's able to get some pretty big pickoffs.
Well, they do steal the Firestorm, so that'll at least help them for any eventual defensives. But it is pick off Dota now. You're right. I mean, it's still a 10k net worth lead, but that can still get changed almost immediately. And I mean, it's the Roche game. We're at 50 seconds. This is going to be Refresher Shard or Ags. I feel like this might be a Refresher Shard game, though, but looking at these neutral items picked up immediately. You got your Penta Edge. That's definitely
Your
the
Penta
PL
Edge,
item.
your Trickster Cloak. I think PL,
Actually,
he
no.
might actually take the Trickster just because it's so annoying. Being able to go invis for 6 seconds, it's got a very high uptime as well.
Arrow. It was Freedom tossed, so they have perfect vision of knowing of where they are.
Well, and Vol actually has a Wind Waker, so he is fearless.
You'd be
An
fearless
item
with a
I don't
Wind
think we
Waker.
usually
I mean, you're not wrong.
I don't think we've seen that item too much. It's a very fun item. I like the item quite a lot, but with Roshi spawning, that's the objective. If they don't defend this,
Oh, there
then
goes Enchantress Courier.
Radiant's courier
Yep,
has
there it
been
goes.
killed.
Yep, there it is. Well, they know that there is a Plague Ward in the Roche, and they know that the Roche is up. So it's the Roche fight. This is going to be the key turn point of this whole entire game, and you could see that the cut is smoked up, ready to go. They want to get the jump on him, on anybody.
oh, Gremlo's very close. They're dewarding though. They're being patient. It's a good ulti.
Gremlo did
He is just
exactly
dead.
what he needed to do, and that was to use all of his abilities and then die. They
And
wanna find the
Scourge
pick
does
on
not
Crow
have
in
any
the back.
lifesteal.
Pale Horse is looking for
Oh,
the jump.
Nick.
They got the roll in onto Crow here. The silence is going to be there. They start channeling the ult, but Nick is just dead immediately. They might be able to find one
They left full.
Not in it. He goes down as well.
And is that
this Roche they can't contest it.
Yeah, they all need to run back if they have any hope. They do have a lot of tier 2 towers alive, but the ultimate from Greml was just a little bit too good. Yeah, you see Canis Vulpes praising him because there's literally nothing he can do. There's no lifesteal on the Troll Warlord. He can't casually just be around, and he can't pop BKB either, so he just had to run away. It's unfortunate Vol wasn't in there, but as well, they just didn't have the vision there. Nick just got spotted out. He didn't get to cast really anything. He popped BKB very early in on that fight, and he was just able to find him with the Storm Spirit. Refresher Shard on the ground.
Oh, I
Just
didn't.
saving it for,
Saving it for next game.
yeah, possibly. But most likely it's going to be the Venom that takes that, and that's going to be even more obnoxious.
All right, he's going to give it to Crow.
I guess Panga will hold it for now.
It's not the worst target to have it. I mean, double Rolling Thunder with the double roll up, more or less. Mostly
You know, it
less.
looks like Pale Horse is just going to buy out for the Abyssal Blade as well, and you have to be scary because they're just surviving right now. Arkosh are just able to exist, and as long as the opportunity is there, I mean, they have these very good heroes at capitalizing on the small mistakes the cut are making with their positioning, and they're really just always able to find a very good jump. And if the cut wants to win this, I think they need to really start like cutting out BKBs from the Storm Spirit. He's bought his own 4-staff at this point. They need to get a reaction out of Arkosh, and then they need to get out cleanly and re-engage. Otherwise, I think this game is going to continue to tilt in the Arkosh scale.
Well, Arkosh, they're reading that situation. They're going to smoke up. They want to try to confirm some more kills so they can take this game back, because you could already see in the net worth alone that it is a 4K now. Continually dropping. They will throw out the Yules with the Abyssal Blink out
There's
from
the
SMD,
Abyssal, but
actually,
he
Gremlo
missed.
gets forced to the low ground by his own Rubik, so he's actually not getting any of that ult time off on anyone in this game. BKB goes out, though, for SMD. He's trying to leave, but the Abyssal plays the Pale Horse to slow this down. SMD, unfortunately, pops his ult onto a Pango, but he finds the ranged bash. He wants to get this kill. He's very low, but jumps to the low ground. Still gets it anyway. We'll be able to find the kill.
Nick has
Not
BKB.
done yet, though. Nick, yeah, he's jumping in with the BKB, but only able to find these illusions to kill off. It's still a very scary game to enter into here. You got the Aegis still alive.
And I do think they probably would have re-went if he did get clipped with that Venom ulti, but it was unfortunate. I think it was the telekinesis shard. It just pulled him away a little bit too fast, or maybe he precast it. He just wasn't able to get it off.
By the way, the shard was used I don't know if it was actually used on Pango or not. Because
it got swapped over to Gremlo. He's got it now.
Okay. That's what I thought. That's good then. I imagine if he wasn't forced to the low ground, you would have seen the double wombo combo. 43-minute game. I mean, this went longer than I mentally and physically expected. I'm sure as chat could very well hear. And maybe yourself. My dogs were not expecting it either.
When we're in a very precarious state, I mean, any fight can go to anyone at this point. It's just Arkosh's high ground was just a little bit stronger, I think, than the cut were ready. The cut, in their endeavors to go high ground, it really goes back to that one death, I think, where Scourge was able to put a lot of pressure on the tower after Storm Spirit died, but the ult just brought him underneath the T4s, and all the aggression died out after that. And you don't have that secondary tower push. That's another place where it goes back to, where you don't have the Tidehunter, you've got a Pit Ward. And your Pit Ward, while he's great and he's strong and he's going to firestorm your waves, he's not the best aggressive hero. He's a hero for controlling heroes, and right now you're kind of running out of damage if you're the cut.
Arkosh, they are smoked up though.
You see Pingu.
Yeah, they find Pingu, he's just dead immediately. Kind of Spolfus the one to zip in, while Pale Horse be the one to confirm it. Just throw illusions at the tower, and you're right, the timer is up. Their damage is starting to scale down. You can only build so many damage items on Troll before it's a very hard game for Troll.
And you see him moving. I like that he's moving towards the Blink, because he's struggling to stick onto the heroes that he is Abyssal Blading. They've just are kiting out this game, and they're making it take way longer, and that's the only realm, I think, where Arkosh would have been able to win this game, is if it goes to that super late game stage. Because now, I mean, you've got 2x overload attack balance. PL, like we keep saying, he still has room to grow. He still has a dust slotted in over an item. And all the other heroes aren't really increasing as fast as they could be. It makes you think, would Adesso have been better? Was this Radiance the right call on Ember Spirit? It feels good, but I'm not sure. Oh, they missed the arrow.
You do find the secondary route, but the Shard lift will
it's so fast. Jeez.
I mean, it is literally an insta-second. What is it? The throw delay reduced to 0.5.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a very quick bring him back home kind of scenario there.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Well, I mean, we're looking at it. We're counting down the minutes to the end of this game. Troll, like you were saying, you like the fact he's going into that Blink Dagger, so he can actually be able to like sustain being on top of heroes and try to actually get the jumps out on him. But it's a hard one to kind of maintain.
And you see as well, they used a lot of their smokes early to get the lead that they had on the cut, but now with net worth leveling out, I think they only have one left. Yeah, they've only got one sitting on Vol, and if they can't get a fight started the way that they want to, I mean, any fight they take is kind of a risk, because right now, SMD doesn't have buyback. Neither does Nick. He'll have it soon-ish. But it feels like we're going very steadily towards that fourth Roche, because neither team really wants to take the risk of high ground yet in this game.
I mean, this Roche can respawn in the next minute and a half, but here we go.
Mid.
If they find this kill on Troll, it's huge. The silence is there, but a defensive arrow. It is going to be the Stormcrafter. It's
the Wind Waker.
Defensive Yules as SMD. He's trying to get the jump on Conus Volpus. He cheeses his way out of that one, but at the same time, in the backlines, they do manage to pick up Pingu King. The bash is there, but Grow rolls away. They want to try to get this kill. Pingu needs to escape. Pale Horse wants to keep on pumping out the illusions. SMD does find the bash. The Storm Spirit is going to end up going down for this, but the buyback's available for him where it's not available for the Troll. So if they want to go down mid lane and end it, they can. I mean, the PL can still very much end this solo.
And I just don't think they realized how big a fight they were getting into. Nick and Vol were very far away. Vol got the breakneck Wind Waker off onto Troll. That was incredible. But now, I mean, unless Nick is able to cut these waves 75 seconds without your Troll Warlord, Pale Horse is going to be able to eat into these towers. Even with that buyback, are they really going to be that scared?
Well, I mean, Underlord is the primary defensive unit when it comes to holding them over. I mean, Firestorm does a lot of damage to illusions. So
they don't want to be caught out either. They want to take this slow. Okay.
They are going to drop the good root, and they steal the pit. Roll up. Canis, as well as lifted by Goat. Look at them heal bounces. The slow and insidious burn damage that is the attempted high ground siege against an Underlord.
Well, and with these Plague Wards being the buff Plague Wards, it is going to be quite hard to defend this once all of these wards are set up, but this is such an annoying game. There's so many things happening.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one in the fact that there's a lot of stuff to sort of deal with. They finally get the tower.
I think the ranged Drax is probably next on the table, but with Troll alive, he should be able to clear out all the wards before the melee could be in any serious danger. But
they had a trickle of back door there, but yeah, the ranged Drax is dead. You could see that these Plague Wards were sent here in particular to focus down the range. And they'll get the first Drax out of this game. You know, 15 minutes ago, if you asked me Arkosh was going to actually put the series into an interesting position, I would have said you're crazy. But here we are now. We're almost 50 minutes into the game, and it's a 5K net worth lead for Arkosh.
Well, and it was such a long time that it felt like PL and Storm Spirit were struggling to find a game. They were struggling to find these targets, but as soon as the game gets extended, because you have this Venom, because you have this Pangolier, you get to seize these opportunities that you unlikely would have been able to seize if you had died just 5 minutes earlier. But now, I mean, if they get Pale Horse, they want to start the fight on a big core, but he's got a DD.
Oh,
here we go.
Abyssal blink range. The DD is still ticking away. It's got 1 second left on it. They'll find the kill on Goat. The Pale Horse, with the nearly infinitesimal range of his doppelgang, will get out, but Little Nick finds the kill on Gremlo. Troll is going to try for this kill on the Crow. He pops his BKB while in the roll, but he gets bashed left, right, and center. Crow will end up going down with the slow and insidious eventuality, while Vol, I say that, no, actually, Pangolier, he's out. Piranha buys back. Storm will zip in, though. Canis Vulpus, they want to find a return kill. SMD, though, very low HP. The Troll illusion is going to get made from the Reflect, and you see Tingle King start.
They're going to kill him and get out.
No,
they left Scourge.
They missed him. They missed SMD. Oh,
they're back to the high ground.
That's a huge pickoff.
I mean, at the same time, if he gets out there, then they're going to be able to pressure the Rax. They don't have buyback on Storm. They don't have buyback, I think. I guess Venna would have maybe purchased if they were really under threat, but it goes back to kind of that Octarine core. He was able to get so far away so quickly with that doppelganger range, and I mean, I hover over it, and it really is crazy. But that's so unfortunate that he got left in the taxi. He wasn't able to get in.
Yeah, I just hovered over it myself. It's actually insanely huge. And he's sitting on a 6K gold in the pocket here. No travels yet. Full. Maybe in the wrong spot here, Captain.
The Wind Waker.
Does Wind Wake out. I mean, slow and insidious burn they want to try to put onto Pale Horse here. I mean, they're not getting much with it. Problem is, Troll is the best answer for killing off the PL, and you just don't have a Troll. But the other thing is, there's no Storm Spirit. They want to be able to pick off a hero right now, but it just feels like there's not really that much damage available. They get the stun, but the roll-up is there immediately by Crow. An excellent response. The BKB is going to get popped by Nick, though. They want to try to go for Pale, but he's out.
Now Gremlo.
Yeah, Gremlo jumps in. They go ahead and drop that Nova. It's a lot of damage slowly ticking away. Pingu likely get the first one to fall
these
on
heroes.
that one. The lift is going to be there. The Firestorm, the well played, is being thrown up by Canis Vulpus immediately. Gremlo the first to fall. They actually end up getting Tingle as well. The Pale Horse is going to claim this kill on Vol.
And now no Pit Lord. That's your high ground defense. 3 minutes.
Troll is dead. Their Storm Spirit, or Troll's dead. Troll's alive. Storm Spirit's dead, but your best high ground defensive hero, like you were saying, is gone. Firestorm, not available, and Goat himself has Firestorm, so he can continually pressure these buildings and the creeps, and anybody who ever oh no. No, why would you say that? Twitch chat, no! Twitch chat's gonna take that so south so quickly. Lift out
and
onto
gonna
this now very dead Little Nick. He does have buyback,
but
I mean, if they want to defend, this has to happen.
I mean, Roche is up. It feels like Arkosh have all the options. I think this is just going to be the game. There's no way for Troll to approach this fight anymore. He's run out of time.
Goat's just lifting himself. But yeah, there's nothing left here. You can see them poising up. They want these towers. And I mean, what's your defense that you're going to have in this next period of time? Little Nick does buy back, and your Enchantress is up in 15. Troll and Nick.
You have Pango roll now, though. I mean, you still don't have the Veno, but I don't think it matters. I think this is just going to keep going.
You're 5 seconds on all your BKBs. And Arkosh are far. Like, the game went to the,
they're going on Storm.
Game. They did jump in immediately while the Abyssal Blink is used, and SMD, while you're Troll ulted, you can't target. He can't even kill this PL illusion. It's coming from the Doppel, and they get this kill on SMD. There's no buyback on this boy. The roll up and
GG.
Everything else. Crow looking for an extra pick. So we'll find Little Nick on the sidelines there. The lift is going to be there with the follow-up damage. Gremlo trying to click on him as well, but Little Nick with the BKB up on the high ground here. You see that they're clicking down this Ancient ever so slowly, but they will get it as the cut will drop the GG, and Arkosh will take game number 2 and in this double down game.
I mean, it was the ultimate. They had such bad stat lines. They had nothing really going for them. Gremlin was similar to the last game, just stuck in the bottom lane forever, just keeping the wards up on the tower, trying to do as much as he could, but it bought the time. The cut didn't. They ran out of gas in the tank. They couldn't keep the lead that they had before, and they couldn't get a strong enough push to ever break a tier 3 tower. They'd never finished the game before getting a real good siege in. Even though they had the advantage for, I want to say, 60 to 70% of that game, Arkosh were just able to find the little misplays, the small opportunities, and just double down on some of these kills. And I mean, if anything, Gremo is the one who I think really spelled disaster for everyone. He got so many 3-4 man ultis off, and Scourge McDuck, even when his BKB is out, even when his ulti is out, once that's all used and he couldn't use them at the same time, he couldn't kill anyone. It was just too kited. And the Octarine Core PL.
I doubted it for a little bit, and now seeing it in actual physical play, crazy. Actually crazy. But that is it for that series, ladies and gentlemen. We do got to get into our next series. I say as soon as possible, but again, I'm sure you could hear my dogs in the background. So we're going to take a quick little 10-minute break, and we'll get to our next series, which I believe, looking at my info chart here, will be Team Unknown versus Ego Boys. So that'll be an exciting one for sure. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have our third series of the day. My brain was like, because yesterday it was only 3 series, and now it's like, well, anyway, I'm not going to explain that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back for our next series of the day. Team Unknown versus Ego Boys right around the corner.